right, one more from the Mandela group. In the middle of an airport, in the middle of the night, standing like a statue burning bright. Where are you coming from? Where are you going to? Can I have a coffee and a cigarette with you? Zoey, Zoey, I know you'll never be my wife. Zoey, Zoey, I want you always in my life. We met in Austin, Texas, when you were just a child. Now you are a woman of the world. You could kill a man at 20 feet with a look or with a smile. Captain of the ocean, oh captain of my soul. Zoey, Zoey, I know you'll never be my bride. Zoey, Zoey, I want you always by my side. If I were a monkey sitting in a tree, and you a lovely silver fish out on the sea, and we couldn't be together, but we wished that we could be, I'd call your name across the waves for all eternity. I'd call Zoey, I'd call Zoey, I know you'll never be my wife. Zoey, I'd call Zoey, I want you always in my life. Here's Bill Clinton's favorite Kinky song. I kind of tweaked the title a little bit. I now call it Waitress, Please Waitress, Come Sit on My Facebook. You know, the millennials and high-tech folks. Well, I pulled into Delhi on a cold December day for coffee and a donut at the Greasy Spoon Cafe. Spied me a pretty young waitress standing by a tray, but she couldn't believe her sweet young ears when the waitress heard me say, "Oh, waitress, please waitress, come sit on my face. Eating ain't cheating, loaning ain't no disgrace. Won't bring me a lone star, making me the case. Waitress, please waitress, come sit on my face." Well, I walks up to the jukebox feeling kind of mean. Waitress said, "Hey, stupid, it's a cigarette machine." "Well, looky here, young waitress, would you care to make a bet? And if that there ain't a jukebox, you can smoke my ass." Oh, Waitret, please, Waitret, come sit on my face. He ain't cheap, oh, it ain't no disgrace. Oh, bring me a lone star and you make it okay. Waitret, please, Waitret, come sit on my face. You're the prettiest thing in Dallas, is Dallas your home? Now I come all the way from here, and I feel so all alone. I used to live in Auburn, then I moved up to Big D, in hopes to get my big break on national TV. Honey, I think I have what it takes to make you a very big star. Way out there in Hollywood, cheep, 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 buzz. But first, well, Waitret, please, Waitret, come sit on my face. He ain't cheap, oh, it ain't no disgrace. Oh, bring me a lone star, make it okay. Waitret, 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 sit on my face. Sidetrack. That's what happens when you do 31 consecutive shows. And there's 2 more after this one. This was a crazy idea of Willie. Some of his ideas are wonderful. But he says the goal is to get to the next big town without slashing your wrist. So the way to do that is to get out of Dodge after a show. Do the show. Do not hang around that town. Leave in the middle of the night. Never take a night off when you're on the road. You'll start running on pure adrenaline. That's what's happened to me. I'm hearing Jesus and Lenny Bruce and Hank Williams and everybody talking to me and singing. And I'm trying to keep the strings together here. Oh, Willie's jokes, yeah. 4 of these are Willie's. One is the property of my friend, the Reverend Goat Carson, who is the spiritual leader of the Black Mardi Gras Indians of New Orleans. So a guy goes to a doctor, and the doctor says, I got bad news for you. You've got AIDS, and you've got Alzheimer's. And the guy says, well, at least I don't have AIDS. Guy goes to... Oh, that's a subtle little joke. A guy goes to a doctor, and the doctor says, I got bad news for you. You got 6 months to live. And the guy takes out a gun, and he shoots the doctor right there in his office. I gave him 20 years. A woman goes to her gynecologist. And the gynecologist says, I don't want you to have sex for 3 weeks. I want you to abstain completely for 3 weeks. So she goes home and tells her husband, and the husband says, why? And she says, because the doctor says so. And the husband says, well, what does the dentist say? It's alarmingly sexist, I think. A woman goes in for a breast checkup, and the doctor says, this could be a little painful. Would you like me to numb them for you? And she says, sure. And he goes, num, 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 num. Some of these are a little lowbrow, and some are more highbrow. And finally, woman goes to in for a rather lengthy examination, and afterwards she comes up to the doctor and she says, "You know, doctor, with all due respect, was it really necessary to spend 45 minutes on the vaginal portion of the examination?" And he says, "Lady, who's the chiropractor here? Me?" Here's one for anybody that's been in the, we got people here who have been in the armed forces, in the armed services of America? Okay. This is coming right at you, 100 miles an hour. It's called A Dog Named Freedom. Looking back, a long time ago, for the people that I used to know, lost a friend in a war that wouldn't end, and Bob was singing, blowing in the wind. Now it's me and a three-legged dog named Freedom, and a sign that says, Texas or bust. We got a long way to go, but good Lord, don't you know, there ain't no quit in either one of us. Coming home on a slow-moving train, looking down at the station in the rain. Where are all the people we fought to defend? And Willie's singing on the road again. Now it's me and a three-legged dog named Freedom, and a sign that says, Texas or bust. We got a long way to go, but good Lord, don't you know, there ain't no quit in either one of us. There ain't no quit in either one of us. Just a ragged kid in overalls, he thumped a ride one day. Told me anywhere you're going's on my way. But as we passed by Big Al's driving, his eyes began to flash. He was leaving Rapid City mighty fast. He said, I hope to God she finds the goodbye letter that wrote her, but the mail don't move so fast in Rapid City, South Dakota. Now we left her just a blanket of snow upon the farm, and that don't keep your conscience very warm. He said his friends were too darn country, and his pa was too damn mean, and there weren't no money pumping gasoline. And her gentle eyes, the merchandise, the dreams the peddlers sold her, who left her there alone he was going. I ain't sure I could say. Might have been the rodeo with Santa Fe. There's a doctor in Chicago, I know she'll be alright. He told himself as he stared into the night. He said, I hope to God she finds the goodbye letter that he wrote her. But the mail don't move so fast in Rapid City, South Dakota. And all her people treating her just like they never knowed her. And the winter's passing slow in Rapid City, South Dakota. Here's a song about my favorite American hero. As you know, the Native American Ira Hayes. This is a man who helped raise the flag after the Battle of Iwo Jima in World War II. Now, I don't know if you guys know the Native American Thanksgiving prayer. If you don't know it, it goes like this: thanks for nothing. True story about that. Gather around me, people. A story I will tell about a brave young Indian lad you should remember well. From a tribe of Pima Indians, a proud and peaceful band. They farmed the Phoenix Valley out in Arizona land. Down their ditches for 1,000 years, the sparkling water rushed, till the white man stole their water rights, and the running water hushed. Ira's folks was hungry, their fields grew thick with weeds. But when war came, Ira volunteered and forgot the white man's greed. Call him drunken Ira Hayes, he won't answer anymore. Not that whiskey drinking Indian or Marine who went to war. Well, they battled up Iwo Jima Hill, 250 men. But only 27 lived to walk back down again. And after the fight was over, and Old Glory proudly raised, among the men who held her high was an Indian, Ira Hayes. Call him drunken Ira Hayes, he won't answer anymore. Not that whiskey drinking Indian or Marine who went to war. Well, Ira Hayes returned a hero, celebrated throughout the land. He was wined and speeched and honored. Hell, everybody shook his hand. But he's just a Pima Indian. No food, no friend, no chance. And back home, nobody cared what Ira had did. And when do the Indians dance? Well, Ira took to drinking hard. Jail often was his home. They used to let him raise the flag there and lower it, just like you'd throw a dog a bone. And Ira died drunk early 2 inches of water in a lonely ditch was a grave for Ira Hayes. Call him drunken Ira Hayes. He won't answer anymore. Not that whiskey drinking Indian or Marine who went to war. Yeah, call him drunken Ira Hayes. But his land is still as dry, and his ghost, well, it's lying there thirsty in the ditch where Ira died. Call him drunken Ira Hayes. He won't answer anymore. Not that whiskey drinking Indian or Marine who went to war. All right, this is the last song from the Mandela collection. Seemed to have put the audience into a diabetic coma. That's not true. In Amsterdam, at a show, I walked away from the microphone telling a story. People thought it was so funny. I mean, it really, and I've never been able to replicate. I've tried. It's called Saying Goodbye. Lying next to you like a rainbow in a hotel room somewhere long ago. Raindrops whispering on the window, telling me the things I didn't know so long ago. Saying goodbye isn't easy for a fool with a tear in his eye. All of my life I've been busy dreaming of saying goodbye. On a dusty train across the plains of Texas, we walked out on the platform in the dawn. The day was bright, the night was just behind us. We looked for some stray star to wish upon, but they were gone. Saying goodbye isn't easy for a fool with a tear in his eye. All of my life I've been busy dreaming of saying goodbye. Looking out the window in a classroom, sat a girl in a peach colored dress, longing so to live in the grown-up world dreaming about love and happiness. She gave her best. Saying goodbye isn't easy for a fool with a tear in his eye. All of my life I've been busy dreaming of saying goodbye. All of my life I've been busy dreaming of saying goodbye. Thanks, folks. This is the other award that I got from country music. It was in 1973 that we recorded Sold American, the record. Glazer Brothers, Chuck Glazer produced it. And the last thought in my mind was that Nelson Mandela would have it smuggled into his prison cell on Robben Island and would be playing it. More than just playing it, signing off with it. It was the last song that he played. And we got the information from Tokyo Sexwale, spelled sex whale. Tokyo, by the way, was in the running to be the president, chairman of FIFA quite recently. He got out of it because the corruption was just, but I met Tokyo on a television show, and he told me that Mandela played Sold American a couple of times. He heard that. And then Mandela stumbled onto Ride 'em Jewboy. And now Tokyo was Mandela's right-hand man. He worked for Mandela, and he was in the cell next to Mandela for his entire incarceration on Robben Island. Now, one thing Tokyo told me, he said, don't get a swelled head about this, Kinky, because you are not Mandela's favorite singer. That was always Dolly Parton. So I felt like I was living in a Kurt Vonnegut novel, that this would go from recording it in Nashville in '73 to Mandela listening to Ride 'em Jewboy every night in his prison cell, very late at night. And it was like a little private radio station. There were few of the prisoners could hear it. And I began thinking of Mandela and Jesus and Gandhi and Martin Luther King. That's the foursome. You have a gulf analogy here. Those four guys have what is entirely lacking in the political landscape of the world. I don't think, maybe we're not as fucked up as we think we are. I mean, it could be, like last year in Europe, everywhere I went, the Europeans kept asking me about Trump. About, am I afraid of Trump? Aren't I afraid of Trump? Aren't I worried about Trump? And I told them, every time I told them, you people have a pretty bad track record for figuring out who you should be afraid of. And it's absolutely true. If they'd been afraid of Hitler and Mussolini early on, they would have saved millions of lives. So, pretty bad track record for knowing who you should be afraid of. So now, I would just say that this is not the kind of country music honor that you get. It's not like a Grammy nominee or something that you can put up on a mantelpiece. But it's something you can sign to your heart. And frankly, I think it's the highest honor of my life. And yeah, you understand, I'm not suggesting that Mandela ordered Kinky Friedman cassettes. You know, they had to take what they could get. But I'm saying that he had a lot of CDs to choose from, and he chose to draw some comfort by playing this thing late at night. So I think country music has given that to me. Country music has given me what I think is one of its highest honors. And we've heard Bill Clinton's favorite Kinky song, so we can rest assured this is Mandela's favorite. Ride 'em, Jewboy, ride 'em all around the old corral. I'm with you, boy. If I've got to ride 6 million miles down the smoke from camps arising, see the helpless creatures on the way. Hey, old pal, ain't it surprising how far you can go before you stay? And don't you let the morning blind you, when on your sleeve you wore the yellow star. Old memories still live behind you. Can't you see by your outfit who you are? How long will you be driven relentless round the world? The blood in the rhythm of the soul. Wild ponies all, your dreams were broken, rounded up and made to move along. A loneliness which can't be spoken just swings a rope and rides inside a song. And dead limbs play with ringless fingers, a melody which burns you deep inside. Oh, how the song becomes the singer. May peace be ever with you as you ride. How long will you be driven relentless around the world? Blood in the rhythm of the soul. In the wind, no candles glowing, remind you that today you are a child. The road ahead, forever rolling, and anything worth crying can be smiled. So ride 'em, Jewboy, ride 'em all around the old corral. I'm with you, boy. If I got to ride 6 million miles. childhood. 23 heroes of mine when I was a kid. Garrett, you got any lights back here that we could hit? If not, you have a miner's helmet. Yeah, that's perfect. That'll work. That's beautiful. Yeah, thank you. You doing all that, Garrett? Somebody else, the Phantom of the Opera is doing the lighting here tonight. In this story about my dad died 13 years ago. I've kept the story in the present tense because I think you should keep everybody in love in the present tense as long as you possibly can. This is called Tom Friedman, the Navigator. Because I'm the oldest living Jew in Texas who doesn't own real estate, and given my status in general as a colorful character, there are those who profess to be surprised that I ever indeed had a father or mother. I assure you, I had both. For many years, my parents owned and directed Echo Hill Ranch, a summer camp near Kerrville where I grew up, or maybe just got older. I remember my dad, Tom Friedman, talking to all the campers on Father's Day in the dining hall after lunch. Each summer, he'd say essentially the same words. For those of you who are lucky enough to have a father, now's the time to remember him and let him know that you love him. Write a letter home today. Many years have passed since I last heard Tom's message to the campers. But love, I suppose, has no sell-by date. When my father was a young boy, growing up in Chicago of the late 20s, his first job was working for a Polish peddler. The man had a horse and cart that was loaded up with fruits and vegetables, and Tom sat on the very top. Through the streets and alleys of the old west side they'd go, with the peddler crying his wares in at least 5 languages, and my father running the purchases, up to the housewives who lived in the top floors of the tenement building. There were trolley cars then, clotheslines strung across city alleys like medieval banners. My father still remembers the word the peddler seemed to cry out more than any other. The word was kartoffel. It is Polish for potato. In November 1944, my mother, Minnie, gave birth to me in a manger somewhere on the south side of Chicago. I lived there 1 year, couldn't find work, and moved to Texas, where I haven't worked since. And all this time, my father was far away, fighting for his country and his wife and a baby boy he might never see. Tom was a navigator in World War II, flying a heavy bomber for the 8th Air Force. The old B-24, also known as the Liberator, which in time it was. Tom's plane was called the I've Had It. He flew 35 successful missions over Germany, the last occurring on November 9th, 1944, 2 days after he'd learned that he was a brand new father. As the navigator, the responsibility fell to him to bring the 10-man crew back safely. In retrospect, it's not terribly surprising that fate and the powers that be had selected Tom to be the navigator. He was the only one aboard the I've Had It who possessed a college degree. He was also the oldest man on the plane. He was 23 years old. After each successful mission, it was the custom to paint a small bomb on the side of the plane. In the rare instance of shooting down an enemy plane, a swastika was painted. When one incoming crew, however, accidentally hit a British runway maintenance worker. A small teacup was painted on the side of the plane, practically engendering an international incident. Tom was a hero in what he still refers to as the last good war. For his efforts, he received the Distinguished Flying Cross and the Air Medal with 3 oak leaf clusters and the heartfelt gratitude of his crew. Yet the commanding officer's first words to Tom and his young compatriots had not been wrong. The CO had told them, "Look at the man on your left, look at the man on your right. When you return," he'd said, "they will not be here." This dire prophecy proved to be correct. The mighty 8th suffered a grievous attrition rate during the height of the war. After the war, Tom and Min settled in Houston. Tom pioneered community action programs. Min became one of the very first speech therapists in the Houston public schools. In the late 50s, they moved to Austin, where Tom was a professor of educational psychology at the University of Texas. It was in 1953, however, that my parents made possibly their greatest contribution to children far and wide by opening Echo Hill Ranch. My mother passed away in 1985, but Tom, known as Uncle Tom to the kids, still runs the camp. Like most true war heroes, Tom rarely talks about the war. My sister Marcy once saw Tom sitting alone in a darkened room and asked, "Is everything all right, Father?" To this, Tom replied, "The last time everything was all right was August 14th, 1945. That was the day Japan surrendered." On a recent trip to O'Hare Airport in Chicago, I commandeered a limo and drove through the area where Tom had grown up. There were slums and suburbs and Starbucks, but the trolley cars and the clotheslines and the peddler with his horse and cart were gone. "Kartoffel," I said to the limo driver, but he just looked straight ahead. Either he wasn't Polish or he didn't want any potatoes. Today, Tom lives in Austin with his new wife, Edith Kruger, and his 2 dogs, Sam and Perky. He has 3 children and 3 grandchildren. He eats lunch at the Frisco, still plays tennis with his old pals. He did not, as he contends, teach me everything I know. Only almost everything. He taught me tennis. He taught me chess. He taught me how to belch. He taught me to always stand up for the underdog. He taught me the importance of treating children like adults and adults like children. He's a significant American because by his example, his spirit, and his unseen hand, he's guided children of all ages safely through the winding, often torturous courses of their lives. One of them was me. Tom's war is long over. Indeed, the whole era seems gone, like the crews who never came home, lost forever among the salt shaker stars. And yet, when the future may look its darkest, there sometimes occurs an oddly comforting moment when, with awkward grace, the shadow of a silver plane flies inexplicably close to my heart. One more mission